Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Janon, hey, guess what day it is? Come on, I know you can hear me. Mark, what day is it, Mark? Hey, Paul, guess what day it is? It's Gold Fever Radio Day. Woo-hoo!
I go straight from the bank, gassing up the tank, cranking up the radio, playing old Hank, it ain't that long.
From the trying to protect you.
No, that's good. Thank you.
Hey, welcome everybody. Gold Fever Radio. Must be Wednesday once again. I got to get over here to the comment section. Excuse my big hands getting in the way right here. You guys are all coming in. Let me see if I can see anybody on this. Look, I'm on the phone, the little dinky phone. It's only like about this big, so I can really hardly see. Paul is first again. Richard, hello, Richard. Mark Nye, hello, Mark. Ready for tell us all about his vacation. Okay, David, hello. Josh Cooper, Neil Young. All right, brand new supporter, Neil Young. Thanks, bud. Let me see. You know what I got for Neil Young? Let me see if I can find it here. I got this thing, right? Let's see if I can find it right here. Anyways, okay, cool, man. Let's get back to the comments. Well, Neil Young is a new channel supporter. Patty's Adventures, hello. Hi, Robert. Neil says, I guess everybody can hear us pretty good then. Okay, we're coming in loud and clear. It is Wednesday once again. It is August. Is it 28th today, I do believe. So still in here in Utah. We're at a secret location near Skinwalker Ranch. Is that where we're at, huh?
Yeah, we're close.
You know what's funny? This guy right here, what's your name, Richard? So let me tell
Richard Head.
Yeah, Richard. He'll sit there and he'll talk stories all day long. As soon as I hit live, he's silent, man. You don't hear nothing. But he's got some stories. So we've been doing some hell of stuff. Some of this stuff you guys kind of been seeing some posting stuff. He's had us walking through rivers, climbing cliffs.
That's the adventures part of your Gold Fever.
Walking all over the place. But this guy's got more stories than there are flies flying around this place right now. Let me tell you, there's a lot of flies flying around right now.
Had that rain.
Yeah.
And then, this used to be the river. This is the river bottom right here. So there used to be a big whirlpool when I was a kid back here. And every time it rained, the flies,
they come out. So I tried to put a microphone on because it's kind of windy, so I don't know. I hope you're not getting any background wind noise. How do, Jack? Do all right, David. So we're every day almost is another adventure, and we've been going out doing all these adventures, chasing treasures.
Yeah, so this one is back in 1932, the CC camps. I think Truman started them, called the Soil Banking Projects, because there was no jobs, and it was just after the getting post-Depression era. And so he opened up these CC camps back in 1932. And the story goes that two of the guys, that they called them buggers because we have beetle problems around here killing the pine trees. So the idea was to go out and find the trees that had the beetles in them, cut them down, cut them up into sections, pour kerosene on them, and light them on fire. I don't know how they didn't stop from burning the forest down, but maybe they did. But the thing is they stayed all summer at this camp, and it was getting in late in the fall, and it had a couple little snowstorms, but it was getting time to get out of there. And they said on the next snow, you guys just come back to. There was 48 of them in this one camp. Just come back to the camp, and we're going to get out of here. It was getting that late. It was late September, early October, up high and up at 10,000 feet, and we start getting a lot of snow up that high that time of year. You can get so much snow that you get snowed in and can't get out. Back in 1932. So they were down off the side of the hill, and they say they were overlooking this river, and so they were coming up a steep side hill, and there's big rocks up in that country, just kind of halfway down on the ground, and the guy's names was Nunnally and Bingley. And they were coming back up with their chainsaws, and they were going back to camp because it was snowing again. And Bingley stepped up on a rock and stepped off of it on this side hill and fell in some old logs, some rotten logs, and fell in a hole. And there was cut steps out of quartz going down in the ground. So he actually had to grab a hold of a little quakey tree to keep from falling in it. So he got Nunnally helped him out of it, and they were looking at it, and on the surface of the quartz, right around on the top, where these carved steps went down, was some sugar gold. So he starts breaking it off and stuck some in his coverall pockets and put some logs back over it and went back to camp. And that's the story of Nunnally and Bingley that found this gold. Well, this was right on Indian ground, and he said he told himself when they changed the boundary of Indian ground, because it was during, they were changing all the boundaries and moving things around ever since 1905 and probably before, that they changed the boundaries. So he gets a hold of the guy that outfitted the camp. This is some years later. And he gets a hold of the guy. He says, let's go back and find where I camped. He says, all right. He says, I can probably remember how to get back there, but they couldn't find it. The story in the books is wrong. This comes right from Bingley himself. And not that I knew Bingley, I didn't know him, but he went to the courthouse to file a claim in the county, and he wrote the story down for the recorder. Don't ask me why, but he wrote the story down of what happened, and she kept it. And then when her son was 5 years old, in 5th grade, he used it for a book report. Well, and I asked him if he knew anything about Bingley and Nunnally's story, and he says, "Oh yeah, I got a thing my mom gave me back when I was in grade school." And I said, "Hey man, go get that. I'd like to read it." So I read it, and I'm like, "Man, I know that area. I know that area pretty good." I go up there, and because Bingley, him and the guy that outfitted it back in '32 couldn't find it, and he said that if he could find a camp, he could find that gold, but they never could find a camp. It's tucked way back up in the hills. A few years ago, I was up there hiking around looking for this place by the description on the story, and I found the camp. Well, in the camp, there were old military silverware laying out there, and you could still see the old brick oven and all this, just everything. Still, the picnic tables that were taken apart, stacked there. There were 48 guys there, and there was 4 picnic tables, 12 foot long, which is just about 48 guys could sit there. So I knew I was at the camp. And then when I got walking around the camp on the outskirts and the trees, I found some 1932 CC markings in the trees. So then I knew I was at Bingley's old camp. Nobody had ever been there. There were horse-drawn single trees leaned up against an aspen that was sunk down in the dirt 4 or 5 inches, and found them spoons laying on the surface, and some old looked like maybe medicine bottles or something. Found an old cinnamon bottle. Yeah, pretty cool. And so I thought, man, I want to find that. I want to find out where he was going. So I was walking in the woods, and you'd see these blaze marks on the trees that they had marked for their trail to go different places. And I thought, man, these blaze marks go over towards opposite side of the hill looking down into the creek. And I thought, man, I'm going to follow that one. And then I lost the blaze marks. I either by a fire or loggers, but they were gone after I went so far. So I developed this box, and I won't get into that, but I set it on the ground and started shooting a line with my rods. And you probably don't understand what I'm talking about, but
Dowsing rods, basically.
it was taking me a direction. And so when I'm like, well, there's a 4-wheeler trail up there. I'll go up there and I'll start there and see if I'm still getting shots off that direction. And I did. And I had a friend with me, Melton, and so we're shooting a line, and it's taking us away from our 4-wheelers. And I bet we weren't gone 5 minutes going straight. I've been to mountains my whole life. Not that I haven't been turned around, because I have. But I know I've been on a straight line. I was putting hash marks in the ground with my foot. And what was up ahead of us?
4-wheeler.
Our 4-wheelers. Uh-huh.
You went in a circle?
Dude, I would have remembered crossing the 4-wheeler trail. I would have seen that, because you can't get back behind the 4-wheelers without going across that 4-wheeler road.
So how'd it happen?
I don't know. I wasn't missing no time. Nothing felt weird. I mean, but there were them damn 4-wheelers. I thought, what?
Is it close to Skinwalker then?
Close enough.
Yeah.
Anywhere around here is close enough.
Maybe that's what it is. We're like only about 10
Dude,
minutes away.
I got moved. I didn't have moved, but I got moved. I got repositioned. I know Jack's going to go. He'll go with that one.
Let's see, where are we at?
Yeah.
So, but that's where we're going tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to the camp.
So we're going to be up there all day. Let's see. I got the sun over here. Let me see what we got here. What we got? Alaskan Adventures. Hey. Hey. So, yeah. So that's going to be fun.
Well, yeah, as long as that don't happen to us. Because it happened to me 3 times, not just once. Another time, we leave again from the 4-wheelers. The hash marks are still there. I can see the hash marks as we're shooting that line again. I'm like, now this is weird. And I know we're going straight. Take out the compass. We got a heading. We're going to stay on that heading, and we're going to know if we walk in a circle, right? Because Melt was trying to convince me that must have walked in a circle. To do that, I'd have had to been gone an hour to make a big loop around. I was only gone 5 minutes away from the 4-wheelers. There was no time to even do a circle. So we'd start going again. There's the hash marks. We go up this little hill, come over the other side, and there's a big pine tree that had broken off, and the bark was gone, and it was just shining bright in the sun. We stopped there and had a little snack and a drink, and we take off walking again, and we're shooting this line, and the azimuth is taking us right to a big quakey tree over there. So we're like, yeah, keep shooting it and keep putting hash marks, and we get over to that tree, and we go up that little hill, come over the top of it. And what do you think was there?
The 4-wheeler?
No, that pine tree. That pine tree that had been broken. Dude, you could see our footprints. I mean, like had already been there. And I'm like, man.
Well,
so I go back where the big quakey was. I go back to the big quakey, and I can see the tree over there. Walk back over the hill down their side, and there's that tree. I'm like, this is it. I'm done. I said, I'm not even going to go no more. So we take the 4-wheelers, go back to camp. That morning, we're going to try it one more time.
This is where you're taking us, at this spooky place?
Well, you don't even know it's spooky until it happens, you know. I mean,
yeah. Okay.
So
and nothing involved drinking, though.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't drink. So.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's
so that's good, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but I've been in trouble. I don't have the greatest record in the world, and so all my stuff is just completely disputed. I don't have this big formal education, and I'm not a doctor. But of course, you got to believe doctors. But anyway, so next morning, my buddy's 4-wheeler won't start. And I said, well, I'm just going to go. Take my 4-wheeler, and where we had taken these shots, there was another 4-wheeler trail that went down around this way. So I took that, and I was going to go down there and get on the azimuth and start taking my shots again. Well, I passed this palm. It's got some lily pads and some little yellow flowers growing out of it. And I thought, that's beautiful, man. And I went down and the road ended on this big slab of rock. So I get out my badmouth, and I'm still getting a shot, still taking me that direction. And again, I wasn't gone 5 minutes. And I'm walking down this little ridge and I see this pond with lily pads and yellow flowers. And I'm thinking, God, there must be a lot of them up here. I'm just seeing another one. Then I got to thinking, was what happened yesterday, what happened the day before. I'm like, well, I'm gonna walk over there and look at this pond. Well, before I get to the pond, there's the four-wheeler road with my four-wheeler tracks in it. So I just walked down the road to my four-wheeler, got on it, and I've never been back since. But now that you're here, I'm gonna take you over there.
Oh man. So anyway, so yeah, I film everything, so it'll all be documented. Yeah, stay tuned for that. Let's see. Going to get yourselves lost? No, we are prepared for that.
Get myself lost. I'm lost sitting right here.
You have AAA though, right?
What's that?
Or when we get up there, get lost.
We ain't gonna get lost. We might get turned. We might have them. It never got me lost. Okay, what happened to me, and I know the country real well up there, and I was never lost. And but what happened is it just like if we're walking this direction, then all of a sudden you're back over here again. That's not lost. That's just back over where you've been. And it's just and you're on this just weird, just really. I've never ever had that. It's the only time I've ever had it happen to me. As much as I've been in the mountains and exploring, I've had strangeness happen, but not that kind of strangeness.
So you've lived here. How long have you lived here?
My whole life.
So you've been I know as we travel, it's like going to Disneyland when we're with him. So we're traveling down the road and he's over to your right. You go up that canyon and there's some whatever up that canyon and a little further. And if you go up that canyon, there's something. Everything is a story. You know so much history and so many things.
Canyon and mountain.
But you've been on horses all over these mountains.
Yeah, because I don't like to walk.
Except when it's just before.
Except when I'm with you.
Yeah. And then we do some walking.
Then we do some walking.
But so we've been on a couple of these adventures, and I guess we'll have a couple more.
Yeah, and I found some cool stuff. It's not like I've been roaming around these mountains my whole life and not found anything. I've got some cool little artifacts and
stuff you can't talk about.
Well, I've got them stashed away, and probably best not to.
Oh no, those are things we can't talk
about.
We
can't. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah, statute
and there's stuff I haven't even showed you.
Oh yeah, this top secret.
I'll share some stuff and some pictures.
Yeah,
but you don't like pictures, so I don't do that.
What's going on here? Another episode of the Twilight Zone. That's right.
That's what it is, Twilight Zone, right there.
Because you don't care where you are. Oh, that's what they say. You're never lost if you don't care where you are. Let me go up here. I've got to go here, and let me go down to find my video. I got to play a commercial, guys, so hold on. I got to pay a bill. We'll be right back.
ICMJ, the International California Mining Journal, was first published in 1931, 93 years old this year. Since our first issue, our goal has remained the same, and that is to provide miners with a voice, a marketplace for their goods and services, and to offer expert advice and tips from our knowledgeable writers, miners, geologists, all in the field. We still offer our 12 and 24-month print subscriptions, but keeping up with the times and with our reader requests, the digital online subscription option allows for a simple and gorgeous reading experience using your preferred technology, your phone, your tablet, or computer. Sign up for our print, online, or both print and online at www.icmj.com or call us at 831-479-1500. For our advertising services, both display advertising and classifieds, select the Miners Market section or call us. Happy prospecting.
And we're back. All right, let me get back over to the comment section here. Man, this is really strange.
I don't know what they're saying about that, so if I said something wrong or something I can clarify, I will.
Yeah, if anybody's got any questions for George, right?
Yeah.
George here. Or is it Chuck?
Yeah.
Chuck.
George, Chuck, Richard.
Chuck.
That's
Yeah,
my
Richard.
first, middle, and last.
That's right, Richard. Richard. Well, thank you, Richard, for sharing all
Yeah.
those stories with us.
You're welcome, George.
So I'm here until I'll leave here probably Monday or Tuesday. Haven't decided what day. And I've got about a 10-hour drive to go where I'm going next, but it's going to take me 4 days to get there.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of Walmarts between here and
Yeah,
there.
it's like my first stop is an hour away from here, Walmart, and then the next stop is 2 hours away. Then the next step is 2.5 hours, and then I'll be at my final destination.
You know, I like driving with you better than Terry. You know, Terry, I won't say his last name. We got to go Kevin say his last name.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay,
People
Terry.
know who he is.
Yeah, Terry Carter is a good friend of mine, and I've been cross country with him several times on interviews and going to Superstition Mountain, just going to the runs, going to get-togethers all over the country. He's really a good guy. I mean, he really is. Real humble. I like being around him. But when he drives,
You're there all day.
you don't need to piss.
No?
Yeah, you don't need to go to the bathroom.
Why?
You don't need to get anything to drink.
Oh, good.
He's got a bag of M&Ms sitting in the console. Pops in. That's his caffeine. And he's like a zombie driver. He gets going, that pedal gets hit down, the cruise control. And the only reason you stop is because you're almost out of gas. And hopefully make it to the next town.
Yeah, no.
And then you stop, get gas, and choom. So we drive all the way straight through to long distances. I mean, when we went to Sloan, straight through. When we went to Phoenix, and I live in Utah, the upper part north to north Utah. And I got to tell you, you're the kind of person I like traveling with because I got to stop.
Oh, yeah.
Every town, every rest area.
Almost.
If it looks like that's a cool spot out in the mountains and I want to go check it out, I might be out there a half a day exploring, looking for, oh God, it just looks like something over there. It's just unusual looking, and I'll have to pull over, stop, and hike out there.
Well, I believe it's boring. Driving is just boring. And so I don't like to go any more than 3 hours a day. And so I try to plan it to the next rest stop or the next Walmart. Camp Walmart's an awesome place. And that's kind of how I spend my trip up, And then I just kick back, relax.
Yeah, I like that part.
I'm in no hurry to get to know
Yeah, I
her.
love that part because I ain't never in a big hurry either.
No.
Sometimes when I'm on my horse, I might not get to the head of the draw for 2 days, and you can see it up there. I might just stop and tie off and lay down and take me a nap. I might not get up till 9 o'clock. I don't believe cowboys got up early. I think they worked hard all day, late in the evening, and slept in until somebody had the biscuits ready.
Yeah, probably.
And then,
Yeah.
and then it was time to get up. But
Yeah.
like when I brought up on a ranch, and we got up 4:30 in the morning, did our chores before we went to school. I think the early rising part of that was after the cow punchers were out there post that. Because when they were driving herds and stuff, that was hard work. Wear you out, so.
Yeah, no, I'm like I say, so when I finally leave, I have I just got to be home by the end of the month. It'll take me a week to get home, so just taking off, relaxing. Oh, there's Scott. When you taking Jack back across the river, Scott's going down this river, man. So yeah, he's saying
I'm trying to tomorrow, Scott.
No, we ain't going.
But that's what the response I've been getting from, because that's a hot spot. That really needs to be searched.
Daryl
Jack
Lane.
when he's here.
Daryl Lane says, "Hi, Jack, Mike, Birdman. Where's Scott? Scott's right above you. Scott left. He went back home. So
Yeah. Our music left with him.
So we have an empty spot here. There's
That song, the music's gone.
yeah, there's nobody to converse with, and
I know.
so yeah, he said he had to go back home. I think he said something about hemorrhoids bothering him or something.
No. Yeah, you got to
He had to get home.
get home to the wife to run.
Oh, is that what it was?
He don't apply
He had to
preparation
get
himself. He's got an application.
He had to get home for the wife. Okay, well, to me, that'd be my hemorrhoids bothering me if I had to get home. Anyway, so.
Hey, wife, push him back in there.
Anyway,
we're gonna leave that one alone.
He had to go home, so he abandoned us.
Yeah, I was gonna park my backhoe behind him so he couldn't leave.
Yeah, he He had to leave.
Yeah,
Hey,
he
listen,
did.
Scott, you missed so much fun today. You would not believe what we found today. You would not believe the treasures we found today. It was awesome day today. It was, you know what? I really enjoyed today. I really seriously did.
I did too.
I did absolutely nothing
I
today.
did too. Yeah, as much time as I can get away, you know, it's peaceful.
Yeah.
You know, so and it's fun to get away with you because it kind of throws the quirk into everything. You know, you're like it's fun. I like these guys when they come out every year. They come out for the last few years, and it's just we sit around and laugh, and it's just so much fun. And then we go out exploring, and we don't ever stop laughing.
Mosquitoes.
To watch them guys cross that river is that was fun. I wish I'd had a video on the other side because it would have went viral.
Oh, I did get a little bit of
Jack fell. He thought he was going to drown. He rolled down the river. Riggins had to go down and save him and pull him out. It looked like he just drenched from head to toe.
Yeah, ruined all my backpack. All the good thing the iPhones are all waterproof and everything, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, the backpack kind of acted like a flotation device because you was upside down.
The phone's floating along.
The
Filming.
backpack was up and you was down. Had you pinned.
So Mike says, yeah, let's leave about 6:30 in the morning. Okay. So we'll be up ready to leave about 6:30. I said, what time do you think we'll be back? He said, oh, we'll probably be back around 2 maybe. So I kind of plan accordingly. We don't make it back till 6:30 also, you know. Well, so
I'm going to say we'll be back at 2, but realistically, it'll be past our bedtime.
So I have to learn accordingly, so to know how much water to take, what to pack. So I have to judge.
Time is irrelevant.
I've realized
There's
that.
no relevancy to time. Everybody knows that. I mean.
Oh no, there's relevancy to time. What time do you got to be to work?
When I get there, they'd be happy with it.
Yeah.
I told them I was only supposed to work 6 hours a day, not that I'd be there at 6. They misinterpreted that.
Anyway,
6 hours, my solid 6 hours, I'm good.
Yeah. So we just been hanging out here having fun. Let's see what we got going on here, if I can read anything. Mark, hello, Mark. Oh, there's another channel supporter, David, channel supporter. Patty says, Jack, do you have bugs created crawling on you? Yes, I do. I've got these, there's flies all over here, and there's these mosquitoes flying around here that keep landing on me. I do. Why, you keep seeing me doing this stuff?
They're not even bothering me. What's going on?
There's Rocky Mountain. Brad. Hello, hello, Brad. Brad was at the, remember Brad from the rendezvous thing?
Brad who?
Brad Hayden. He was the guy that was hanging out there. You know, we were walking around talking to everybody at the gathering. Anyway, that's Brad. He's here.
Oh, well, hello, Brad.
You would know him if you saw him.
Probably. I don't remember names too good, but I'm pretty good with faces.
Well, he was right there with everybody talking. You know, when we were talking about the flares and all of that, and he helped to go find you when you got lost, and then he helped to go find Scott, and then when we were all standing there. Anyway,
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, anyway, he was there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so
Moon Lake. Yeah, we didn't go to Moon Lake. They did that walk around. We didn't do the walk around Moon Lake. Then after they met at the park, and that's where the gathering was, where all the speakers talked and the vendors and different things like that. People selling stuff. Also, what I did is I ordered these coasters with the logo on them, and so I'll be having some of them to give away in the near future. Brad. Just saying hello to David. So anyway, so that's all that's happening. Buck Rackley. Hello, Buck.
If you don't see Jack ever again, I just want you to know that he got moved.
Show us all that treasures you guys have been finding.
He didn't recover.
Did you get your film yet? I got the film today. I'll get my camera Friday, so we won't going to get any more pictures. But the treasures, what treasures have we found so far? We found
Long Coat, found the outlaw shootout.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Found that outlaw shootout and there was somebody that commented it's maybe between the graves and where the shootout
That's
happened.
what we got to go back to
So
that
we're going
again.
back up there to check in between that area.
That was gold
Whoever
coins,
said
right?
that, that's a good idea.
That was gold coins, right?
Yeah.
So those are
Double eagles stolen in Texas.
So that's another site that you found, and how you found that. We drove for an hour and a half through. It's not even a road. We're climbing rocks and driving everything. I'm thinking, dude, this truck's gonna make it. So we get clear out in the middle of nowhere, and he says, "Yeah, this is where the outlaws were, and the deputies were over there, and the graves were over there." How the hell did you find this place?
Well, I rode around out there for 4 years on my horse.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up finding it. And I just every place that looked like it could be a possible good shootout, and this is probably a 15, 20 square mile area.
Tell that story. I got to go check this out over here. I got to go get.
So there was a lot of good potential areas to look for this shootout. But what really keyed me off to this spot was finding 3 old grave markers. They were just pieces of wood nailed, just some old wood nailed together. Well, it wasn't even like a 1x4. It was just like logs that had been carved with a pocket knife to where they'd fit together. And I don't know where they had it. It was nailed with horseshoe nails, so they must carry horseshoe nails with them in case they lose a shoe or something back then. I still carry horseshoe nails when I go riding. But I found the grave sites. One cross was knocked over. The other one was about to fall over, and the other one was kind of a little bit upright still, but the wood was going rotten. So now this has been some years later, and I haven't been over to the grave sites to see what condition the markers are in. But that was my first clue I found. So I started looking around the area and seeing where a guy, if he was getting shot at, where would you go? And there was this big pile of rocks out there kind of by themselves. And I said, well, I'll go over there and look around. So I always carried my metal detector. It looked funny, me riding my horse, my metal detector sticking out and shovels. And, so I went over there and tied my horse up and walked around the rocks, walked around that hill. And, man, I started finding these rivets. And they look like the rivets on my Levi's. Well,
I can't
that's kind
find
of weird. I didn't know what they were. I had no idea what they were. They were just, I could tell that they were a rivet, but to what? There was no markings on them. Well, in the early 1900s, Levi Strauss started putting their name on the rivet. But in the 1800s, and this happened in 1896, 1995, 1896, they didn't have Levi Strauss on the rivets. And we found one that day that still had the leather in it.
Yeah.
Now those rivets, all the stuff I found, the empty shell casings. So the Texas Rangers, they were shooting Colt because I found a lot of long Colts up there by where they were shooting from high ground. Over by the rocks was these 38 Peters. Don't start. But Peters, before they joined Remington, I could see the wheels turning.
No, I didn't say a word. I'm listening, man. I didn't say a
I
word.
found these casings, and I knew that they were pre-World War I when Peters and Remington went together and started making bullets for the military. So I knew they were before that. But I have a renowned specialist, he calls himself, up here on the bench. And he doesn't just say he knows everything. I put him to the test. And I really believe he knows just about everything about stuff like this. And I showed him the rivets. He goes, oh, those are rivets to long coats from Levi Strauss before they printed their name on it. He knew that right away.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, well, he told me what years they started putting their names on the rivets. And so what they were, is he told me straight out, they were from long coats. There was a grand coat that Levi Strauss made and a long coat. The long coat was the one down to here that the guys that rode around on horse, they like to wear those, keep the water off their legs. So he said these specifically were from long coats, from a long coat. So I don't know. I heard back then outlaws and stuff that you hang your jacket up on a rock or on limb or something. It made you look like you were still over there. And, there's a place right there where they could have tied their horses to keep them from getting shot. Because if you shot a guy's horse out there, you're done. You're just, there's no,
Maybe they shot the horses.
well, no.
That's why they didn't make it, and then they tried
Well,
to
no,
hightail it
the
out.
graves are far enough. I'd take you over there.
Oh,
The
are they?
graves are 500 yards from the shootout. So I think what happened is they left their jacket and they were trying to get to the Duchesne Strip. And that was a place where at any given time there were hundreds of outlaws. So they could seek sanctuary there. Even the closest law was San Francisco, California, and Denver, Colorado. And this was all Indian reservation. And the outlaws had that Duchesne Strip to hide out at. So, and there was a Chinaman around charged $5 a day. So when the Rangers found them, the story is that they didn't have any of the gold on them. I'm like, well, they had to have some money on them to pay the Chinaman to stay, to get sanctuary at the Duchesne Strip.
And that's probably what the Rangers stole then.
I don't know. Maybe the Rangers got it and they just quit rangering. Maybe they just
Took everything.
took everything. And
Well, anyway, so when we went out
I
there,
don't know.
when you took us out there, so we metal detected. We found some more of the rivets. We found another
Casing.
Peter's bullet.
Yeah.
So we knew we were back in the area.
Back
So
in the shootout.
that's something we're going to continue to investigate to see if we can find those coins.
Yeah. So this might be a scenario. I don't know, but they're getting shot at and they're pinned down. They go around the backside of the rocks from where the Rangers wouldn't be able to see them. They could go back around that pile and get to your horses, get on your horses real quick and haul butt, try to outrun them. Get to Duchesne Strip. You know, it's only over. They were almost to safety. They were only maybe 20 miles and they came from Texas. I think they might have got a little off track or went up there to hide it and then head over. And all them buttes, if you're up on one of them buttes up there, you can see for miles and miles all around you. And that's how I think maybe the Texas Rangers caught them, as they were up on that butte looking for them. They seen their tracks going in there and they knew where the Duchesne Strip was and that they were probably heading there to seek sanctuary. So they probably got up on that butte to where they knew that their tracks were headed and waiting for them to come back, and then seen them down in the low country and then put the shake and bake on them. They cut them off and got them in a triangulation and started fire on them. They might have went back, got their horses and tried to get out of there, and they just picked them off. And they chased them and shot them out of the saddle. But the graves are all in the same spot. So somewhere in there, maybe they still had the gold on them at that time. I know that this spot is about 2/3 of a day ride away from, because you wouldn't want to hide it real far away. You'd want to be able to get to it to get some more money if you wanted to pay a Chinaman, to seek sanctuary there. So you had to be able to get to it, and it had to be in a spot where you could watch your back trail. And you get on those buttes, you could see if anybody was following you, and there's some good ground markers out there that you would never forget, like on that one plateau. That's flat, and then there's that hill in it on the skyline, and then flat all the way across. Then there's another hill down from it. If you left your stolen items there, you would never forget that spot ever.
So that's another place we want to go back to. So there's a few of them adventures. Let's see what Daryl say. No problem with the paperwork you helped me on, Jack. It already passed. Thanks. I owe you again. Hee haw. Yes. David says Slickers. Let me get closer to this here.
Friend, Daryl?
Yeah.
Hi, Daryl.
Family show. Rubber Ducky Prospect.
Miss you, buddy.
Metal detecting that site. Yes, we were metal detecting it.
Yeah. He's part of the
You're
regulator.
never late there.
Yeah, he's a regulator, that one.
Daryl's a regulator.
I think that caught everybody. I can only see like 3 comments at a time, and after that, two or three comments, and after that, I can't see anybody. Picking up my eyeglasses in the morning. My driver's license is in the mail. Well, congratulations! I'm glad you finally are becoming legal.
Outlaw. Well, he's a regulator.
He's regulated.
Yeah.
An outlaw.
So this is Daryl's got one of these shirts. I I had last year. I had I had some shirts made up.
Oh yeah.
I had got you one, but I didn't know you at the time.
Yeah, I know, understand.
This is the Ancient Historical Research Foundation that was founded by Terry Carter, and so I went and got Terry a shirt, and a few guys that I know went and got them shirts. Of course, I asked Terry's permission first, and he said it was fine. So I went and got these shirts made and gave them out at last year's get together. And Salvador was there, and he says, "Oh," he says, "we're the regulators." So kind of stuck.
So you're the regulator.
Salvador Degadillo.
How's
So-
that? Doug,
Deal.
deal.
So anyway, so that's what's happening here. So we got more adventures we're going to chase down and more treasure hunts and then probably so next Wednesday more than likely I'll be sitting in a Walmart parking lot doing the show. Maybe I'll go in Walmart and sit down and do the show from inside Walmart.
Yeah, they sell stuff in there.
Oh, I've done that before.
You go in their shop and
No, I just go get a bag of chips, something to drink, go to the garden section and set up the camera right there, kick back on the lounge chair in the garden section, do the show. I've done.
and say, could you say Gold
Yeah,
Fever
yeah.
Adventures, your name, and
Yeah.
say Gold Fever
Yeah,
Adventures?
no, I've done that before. So
You do that with girls?
what?
Have them say that?
Oh yeah, of course.
Just girls?
Well, who wants to see guys? You know.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. I bet you there's probably 30 guys watching and 2 girls.
Well, that's kind of off. Not a lot of girls like to explore.
Yeah, there's girls that like to explore.
Well, do you have a lot of girls that watch your channel?
I don't know. It's a guy.
Well, you can tell by the name, can't you, if it's Lisa or Doug? Is there a girl
Mike.
on there?
Mike or Chad. There are once in a while. They pop in.
Do they?
You'll see them once in a while.
Well, I wish there was more involved in
Richard
this
Duke, hello.
stuff.
Yeah, I know it's kind of high tech, but anyway, so again, guys, just right here. So we just yakking right here with the show. So I guess that's it then, huh?
Well, no, I can.
Oh, I know. Well, you guys want to tell some more
No,
stories?
I'm good. I know.
I know you said something
I
about.
could have them up past their bedtime.
I know you could too. You said something about you had to go do something, and I said no, you got to stay here and tell some stories first.
Yeah, well, I just didn't want to. I didn't feel like telling stories. I was making an excuse and just wanted to leave.
So, but we got him cornered, so I don't want him to feel bad because he's telling stories.
They're just stories until you find something, and you just like Daryl. He didn't give up. He knew about stories out in the country he is in Arizona, and he did. There's no quit in that man, and he just keeps looking until he finds something, and that's what you got to do in this industry. You can't get depressed and weary and tired of hiking. It's too hot, and it's this, it's that. You got to just put all that to the
You
side.
got to be able to make those river crossings and not fall in.
And Daryl's that kind of guy. He
that kind of guy. I'd
goes
like
out
to
there till he
meet
finds what he's looking for.
one. Yeah, okay. Brad, well, you're hanging out at the wrong places.
See, take good advice. I told you that before. You're.
Yeah. So that's what's happening, guys. So let me go over to this place over here. So you guys all have fantastic days, fantastic evenings, fantastic week, and I guess we'll join you next Wednesday. Stay tuned. Go like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber to the channel. Go to the Facebook page. Follow me on Facebook because that's where you're going to see everything posted at or anything going on. If you want to stay in the know and follow the videos.
But we might show something we find, right?
Maybe
on Patreon.
Maybe we might show something.
Show it on Patreon.
It may be blurred out or something. It's a guess, but we might show
Well,
something.
how do you know that could be? We could use CGI.
Yeah, but see,
CGI,
we will find a bunch of gold
Yeah.
bars. That's a secret. The statute of limitations may not be up on that, So you got to be careful of what we do show. That's why we may show imitation bricks or something. You know what? We could
Imitation.
We could go get bricks and spray paint them gold. Oh my God! Listen to this. We could get bricks, spray paint them gold, go out there and hide them someplace,
Show us digging
and
them
then
up.
then make a map and accidentally drop the map in the restaurant of how to get it, and watch somebody pick it up and go out there and
And
find
film
the
'em.
treasure.
Film 'em.
Yeah.
So I found a lot of placer golds. panning and sluicing and dredging and stuff, you know.
And stuff.
And so I found all these cool rocks. They look like gold. They wasn't nuggets, but they look like nuggets. So I spray painted a whole bunch of them gold. And I went to a place where there's you don't find a lot of gold on the American Fork. There's just not a lot right down there. And I took them and not pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
not good.
Anyway, all right, guys. Hey, thanks for hanging with us. You guys all be safe, and we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks everybody for coming along.